If you're not currently pursuing a goal that will require you to change, you are bound to fall into a cycle of hopelessness that most of society has been in for a long, long time. And I say this because a vantage point is required to know where you want to go in the first place. Meaning, if there isn't something that you're actively pursuing and something that is stretching your ability to be better, then you won't know what you're capable of. So many people fall into this rut. Every day, I hear about people making excuses about where they want to be in life, that they don't have enough time, that XYZ, 100 different things, right? The reality is we need to go forth and step into new horizons in order to discover ourselves and also to make the most out of our time in our life. How do you do this without having all this stress and anxiety on your plate? You can't. Get over it. You need the stress. You need the anxiety. It's something that every organism on this planet has to suffer with, and it's something that makes life really, really enjoyable and satisfying. At the end of the day, if we aren't pursuing a path that is going to make us better, make us different in some way than we are right now, we're not going to know what we're capable of, and we're really not going to be all that satisfied in life. And if you allow that to continue to happen day after day, then you do necessarily fall into the cycle of helplessness that has made society the way that it is currently. A lot of the people that are spouting on YouTube or on Instagram to change your life and to believe in yourself are people that have actively pursued tremendous change in their life. And it really doesn't come at a large cost. You might be saying to yourself, well, if I go down this road, then I won't have the time to think about where I really want to be. And to that I say, well, perhaps you should go down this road and then you'll realize that you have plenty of time to reflect on the road itself. The reflection time is going to come in minutes, maybe half an hour over the course of a day. But the goal that you set for yourself is probably going to take a fraction of your day. If you are in a situation that you are working a 9-to-5 job and you come home and you have a family, okay, fine. You have a lot of things to do. You're already pursuing a goal that's going to change your life, right? If you are pursuing a 9-to-5 job and you come home and you have essentially nothing on your plate left, imagine the amount of time in your life that you're wasting and not putting into something that would make you get up and be hopeful about the next day, to give back to your community, to genuinely enjoy your life. It really only takes about half an hour worth of reflection to make sure that you're going down a path that you want to go down. Now, this is something that I've picked up from Jordan Peterson, this particular quote, and this is what this video is based off of. The quote says, listen, go and pursue something in your life. Go and set on a path in your life. And at some point, at least you're moving the entire time. At least you're somewhere different than you were yesterday. And at some point you might reach a situation where you have an opportunity to look back at the path that you pursued so long ago, and perhaps you'll decide to yourself, hey, this is really not the way that I wanted to go. But at least now you have the data in your life to indicate that this is not the thing that you wanted. Prior to going onto that path and prior to doing all of the work that will be required for you to get to that vantage point, you don't have enough data at that point to know what life is about. Go and experience new things. Go and pursue new hobbies, new things that you think you might enjoy in order to get to the point that you know exactly what you have enjoyed since you were little. Something that your soul necessarily needs in order to be happy and successful in life. Pursuing things just for the sake of pursuing things is not a meritless approach. It's not. Because a lot of people don't even have the energy, the willpower to go and do this thing. They think to themselves, my entire life I've been surrounded by people that have done one thing and have had all of this time on the side to do other things, and they just didn't. That they sat home and watched television all day, or that they continued to go to the exact same spots week after week after week. And these same people that grew up in these environments have a really difficult time rationalizing to themselves a life of novelty. I have believed for a long time that a life of novelty is a life of satisfaction. Us as human beings, because of some of the comforts that have occurred over the last 10,000 years in our existence, we don't struggle as much as nature does. In some ways, and this is coming from a point of privilege, sure, if you have a family and you're working a 9 to 5 and you're barely making ends meet, sure, you are struggling to survive. I understand. It's difficult. You have to be there day in, day out, day in and day out. But you should not believe for 1 second that you cannot get out of that situation. That your efforts are never going to amount to a change of that situation. When you fall into that cycle of hopelessness, the entire world becomes your enemy. Everything seems hopeless. Things don't seem so beautiful anymore. And because of that, you are unable to actualize the people that you want to be around and the people that you want to be like, or the person you want to be like. It's all in our head, you see? It's all in your head. And if you are living a life currently that is not all that satisfying to you, that you don't have the things that you really want, I'm telling you, get up and start pursuing some goal that is so far away that you are almost afraid to get there because you know the tremendous amount of obstacles that you're going to have to overcome to be that person. Why? Because it is your life and you deserve it. You deserve to be the person that inspires other people. You deserve to be the person that is happy, satisfied in life. And I'm telling you, this one thing is the thing that most people avoid. At some point in their life, they get to a point of comfort. Okay? They stop pursuing a goal. The goal is perhaps set in place by education or by the people in their life. And this stagnation leads to hopelessness. We are all apparently born geniuses. There are studies that prove this. What ends up happening is society tells us that we are not that thing. And then we spend our entire lives looking up to the very people that we could very easily be if we decide to put daily, consistent effort into a goal that we believe is worth our time. And even if it's not worth your time, even if you think that it's not worth your time, I promise you, just getting off the couch, doing something different, pursuing something that stretches your brain, that stretches your social capabilities, will free up incredible amounts of time in your life. Atomic Habits by James Clear is a book that I first read maybe about 8 months ago when I first started this YouTube channel. Well, I started my YouTube channel shortly after, actually, a couple months after. But he talked about this strange irony, right? Something that I experienced when I was talking to some of my more successful, creative friends that had all these things going on in their life, and it just seemed like they were so relaxed, despite the fact that they were clearly doing more than me in a given day. They seemed like they had all of the time in the world, and I couldn't wrap my head around it until I read this book, and it told me that the irony of it all is that once you get your day structured into a routine that satisfies that change in yourself, you know that there's going to be a certain amount of time in the day that you have to do something. You're actually going to have more time because there's going to be less time of indecision. Taking action, moving forward, pursue a goal, anything in life that will force you to change. And I promise you that at some point, you'll look back at where you came from and you'll be incredibly proud of yourself. Despite your initial beliefs and your initial hiccups of actually starting the process. And I promise you, you will also have plenty of time to reflect as to whether or not that is the right thing to do. I hope you found this video inspirational. I try to give people motivational messages every day. The reason being, I think society's struggling in hopelessness. And I think it's been struggling for a couple of generations now, at least. We need to change something about the way that each of us individually functions. Otherwise, we're going to go down a path that I don't think many of us are going to enjoy. So if you're looking for another video that kind of talks about what I believe society has been going through, check this one out right here. And hopefully, I'll see you over there. Remember, actualize your potential.